Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United.
And I'm like commenting it.
I got some varsity.
Run Ryan.
Ryan.
And the other thing, you have players out there.
I think the fellas will take it more serious.
What grade?
That one.
Yes, because at the end of the day, right now, Manchester United are
Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United. Woo! Olia, only Manchester United, right? Could go from losing a game that we was winning to winning a game that we was losing with 5 minutes to go. Right? Olia, what we witnessed today? You know, Kobe judgment Meno. Harry blaming Maguire.
Slabhead.
You know, and with everything that went on today, we are still the only team, right, in the Europa League, the remaining unbeaten team in the Europa League. You know, with all that going on, right? I think coming from a winning position, you know, to be in a situation where we almost lost, right, was heading for a real disaster for, you know, Amorim and for the club and for everything, you know, because people were calling for Amorim head. You know, I mean, you just you know, kind of feeling the temperature where the fan base was, and people was calling for Amorim head. You know, so with all that going on, fellas, and all they gonna do all the intros and whatever, I want to know, as far as you all see it, how important this win was. Nico, what we saying? All right, I think you're good, Nico. Yeah, on mute.
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Nah, way. But I think I get numb to this though. You know, for you to continue watching till the 120th minute, I mean, you're numb a little bit too, because most people after 2-0 up and then 4-2 down, they're walking out on the TV, kicking off that TV by me want to watch this side, you know, they want to hear nothing again. You know, but wow. And there's a customary thing too, So, you know, the diehards go stay and, you know, we're always hopeful now. You know, and again, I guess that's why Old Trafford has sell out almost every game because, you know, in the UK, they have fit like Trinidad now, you know, Trinidad is, you know what I mean, you have some fit to go, so that football taking back seat. You know, in the UK, football is like the fit now. So, you know, you're looking for
our religion, boy. Our religion over
here. Yeah. And that is the entertainment now. So, when Old Trafford, you know, continues to, you know, throw up nights like this, you know, Old Trafford will continue to sell out. That finish from Kobe Mino, I just spoke about it, the real quality. I mean, the touch and the touch, the time he had to put that ball where he put it, just because of the quality of the touch. That was mind blowing, you know, in that tight space. And again, Harry Maguire came up on the 90 plus or 120 plus. You know, and it's not the first time for the season he has done it, you know, to win the game. A real roller coaster, and again, as a United fan, it was too easy, and we know something had to happen. You know, something has to happen. We wasn't going to coach through that whole game like that. And yeah, and so said, so done, and you know, at the end we scraped through. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rush.
Yeah, go through now, Phil.
Yeah. Good night. I am audible, right? Boy, if you guys did not know, or anybody who's watching this did not know, let it be known that football is the greatest sport in the world, in the universe. Wherever you're located, football is the greatest sport wherever you are located. Whether you're in Trinidad, US, in Canada, football is the greatest sport ever. Grown men have cried. Grown men have gotten angry. Grown men have gotten emotional. It's funny because I gave up at 4-2 down. I turned off my stream and went to the gym. And my phone was buzzing, but I didn't bother to check it. When I got into the gym and I saw there was a penalty, I still put my phone in my pocket. And then I took it back out. So it was 4-4. I said, wait, what? And then I refreshed. And then I turned on my stream just in time to see Harry Maguire score. I turned it on just in time when it's almost like Harry Maguire heard the commentator, because the commentator said something along these lines. You guys still have to remember this is about this can possibly go into penalties. And a split second later, 5-4. But that is football all in one, right? Emotional roller coaster. We have nothing else to play for in the season. This was our every single game in Europa going forward is our Europa League final, right? But I don't know, boy. Correct. And as it says in my title as well, football, bloody hell. It doesn't get better than that. I rewatched the highlights and Manu goal. I was still questioning why is this guy putting Manu at striker, but it paid off, right? And he did give a reasonable explanation as to why Manu is at striker, because Manu is now coming off an injury. He doesn't want Manu running that much chasing, right? So putting him in a more advanced position was the best idea. Also, leaving Harry Maguire up front was also a touch of class as well, too, right? And before I hand it off to Simeon, you got to mention Casemiro. Definitely my man of the match tonight. Wow.
But before Simeon jump in, I'll tell you something. The Kobe Mano finish, I tell you, there are very few players who finish in that, who taking that ball like how Kobe take that. You understand? Who making the touch to get away from the player and bending that. Very few players, and it's only when Maguire came up top, Kobe kind of move out into one of the kind of 10-ish roles, the hybrid of a kind of 10 role. And that's how Kobe get that opportunity, because he was able to drift, because Harry Maguire was occupying the defenders, because he knew his threat, you know. Simeon, go through now. But before Simeon, you come in, earlier, Simeon might have a different point of view of how everything play, because right before Simeon opinion out there, buddy.
Go ahead.
Right before when it was 4-2, right? Simeon lay it out. He said, Karim, this is not good enough. And that's why I don't get carried away. You know, I didn't disagree, but I had to live in the moment, you know, go to Simeon.
And he was right.
No, I mean, it's easy to, it's when you watch the game live, because I didn't get a chance to watch the game live. I follow the score. I had Kareem keeping me up to date with scores. So it's easy for me to look at this and say, hey, something right. You know, he telling me what's going on in the game. We 2-0 up. I said, hey, Kareem, we ain't good. You say you can't trust these fellas. You have men who just score, bicycle kick 1 minute and miss open goal next minute. So you can never be, relaxed for this kind of thing. But the next thing from 2-0 is 2-2. So I work in. I step a little break, I look at my phone, 2-2. I say, wait now. When I change to go to work, to go home 4-2. I say, Kareem, see, I tell you, Kareem. I gave my speech. I say, Kareem, I say, you of all people should know this team. You can't trust them. Get home, look at my phone. 4-4, refresh. 5-4. I say, but as as Kareem was saying, like, because I watched live, I didn't get to really experience. I mean, I went back to watch the highlights, but why are we in that position? Why we get there? How we could be, a man up at home, 2-0 up, and how we get to a point where we're struggling. So that's I watch it and I almost cry, even though I know what happened. I'm like, man, if us come back, you can't deny that. But at the same time, you can't deny we still shit. We are still shit. I'm glad it was so hard at the end, but where was that hard to finish the game off when you had a chance? Where was it? We can't keep doing this. It's not good enough. So we go take it. We're gonna go enjoy it. We ain't gonna be embarrassed and alive like we're going to be, but it ain't good enough.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely agreed with you on that. I mean, from a winning position, and I think I did say it in the opening comments, to be winning, and you would want to think 2 goals are comfortable lead, right? And when you watch how the game was going, we were on top. But it was important when you're on top. It's important when you're on top to capitalize on every opportunity. And as per usual, we were creating chances, creating openings, and just fluffing at the final hurdle. And that was a problem. And you just got the feeling, knowing how this Man United team is, that at some point we would have paid for it, because you were seeing little by little Lyon were growing into the game, and it started to put a little bit of fear, because you just know all Lyon needed was 1 goal, right? And then you don't know what could happen to this team. So I agree with your Simeon, but as a football fan living in the moment, you want your team to win. And these kind of wins, they just do something to your extra number, in the manner in which we won. It was exciting. I mean, although we've been saying it for time, supporting Manchester United is not for the faint-hearted, right? Because them go kill people, right? Guys, don't forget to like and share the podcast. We want to get more people in on the content, right? Those on Facebook and even those on the YouTube platform as well. JP on the inside, thanks for joining, man. Good night to you. He's saying it's 3-4 still on my side. So JP watching the game late, right? Okay, so all right. 4-4, my word, Kobe. And then right, so current, right? Maguire. All right. Mylon on the inside, good night, man. Thanks for joining.
Good night.
Yeah, King Ivan on the inside, he's saying Kobe is at 10. All right. Thanks for joining, man. Arun on the inside, thanks for joining. Good night to you. He's saying when Kobe scored that equalizer, I knew we were going to win it. In Mourinho words, call that football heritage. All right. Mylon saying here, Bill Maguire a statue. He's on the inside, thanks for joining, man. Glory, Man United for life. All right, them fellas want to knight Harry already. Yes, Sir Harry. All right, Jesus saying here, this team will kill. I'm telling you.
No, actually, yeah, for real, like.
Yeah.
This team not good for your mental health.
Yeah, boy.
All.
I'm telling you, boy. So Harry, everybody's supporting that knighting, boy. Kristen on the inside, thanks for joining. Saying I wish I could have this feeling and happiness forever.
Hey. Look at me.
JP saying here we gave up stupid goals and Onana not good enough, but honestly we were the best team whole game. Right? JP also saying here Dalo is a better striker than Rasmus. Boy oh boy. So fellas, again, I want to do player ratings, right? So we go through the players and we go rate them based on performances and stuff like that, right? But somebody made a comment and I want to know, because we know I'm not going to do no team sheet and that kind of thing, because I think you played the best way, that team pick itself, right? So the biggest one was the Onana versus Bayern selection. So I want to know if all the think the selection was, well, if Amorim was vindicated in selecting Onana today. What was all the thoughts on Andre Onana's performance?
After seeing Bande against Newcastle, it only had one call to make. Onana was coming back in that game, right? That is how dreadful to me. Well, I mean, we know Bande wasn't playing any games, but decision making, I mean, even from the Newcastle game, was very poor. His distribution as well was very poor, and Onana just looked like the better goalkeeper, the worst lot, right? So he was vindicated by starting him. Onana's performance, we got our Onana performance. You know, we get so accustomed with these type of performance that all right, anything on goal on Onana, you have a good chance to score. He might put on a blinder save, which he did put on some decent saves in the game. I think he had some saves that he would have saved well, but still push it back in the crowd instead of pushing it wide. But I guess today the defenders maybe was more aware that hey, when Onana saving, he pushing it wide, he put it right in front, right? So most of the times the defenders was there to clear the ball to prevent what happened last week where he saved and he pushing the ball right in front of him, and he did that again today about 3 times. But luckily there were defenders to clear. So he was no big revelation today, but he was the better goalkeeper to choose from, and I think he got a solid 6, to be honest, today from his performance.
Phil, thoughts on Onana's performance?
Well, I mean, Bande against Newcastle did nothing to help his cause in terms of putting him in the goal for today, right? Onana was better than the first leg, let's put it that way. But you still concede 4 goals, right? That still says something. I still maintain that we need a goalkeeper in the summer. And Andre Onana, well, let's not talk about the transfers as yet. We're talking about today. Onana, same thing as Nico said. I probably would give him a 6. It's not.
Phil, we are doing the ratings yet, right? We're gonna do the ratings in a little bit.
Oh, I hear Nico give him a 6, so I just agreeing, right? Like I said, Bande did nothing to help his stance on being in the goal in the second leg versus Lyon, right? Onana being in goal, he was the spotlight was on him from minute 1, right? He did pull off some great saves. Definitely was trying to not embarrass himself again. I think you mentioned to me that Onana should be questioned for one of the goals. I can't remember which one you said. Was it probably
the second one?
The second goal, definitely his position was poor.
Second goal was the goal that Tagliafico scored, right?
Yeah.
That Lacazette knocked into the back of the net, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But did it score before Lacazette?
Wasn't Lenny Euro marking, or was it Lenny Euro marking Tagliafico, or he wasn't aware who Tagliafico was behind him?
Yeah, he was behind him.
Yeah. My reaction to Onana tonight won't be the same as last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever. Sorry, last week, right? Yeah, that's basically it. Pulled off some great saves. I won't be too harsh on him tonight, but I mean, it was, I guess, the right choice based on Bande not pulling up any trees or making any camera saves versus Newcastle, right? So,
Simeon?
You're on mute.
As far as Bayern there, I think it's kind of, I don't think he played that bad, especially starting off. I saw that he, in the end, he was, I think the rust, the lack of game time, really affected, I think when the things started getting going, I think that one pass he made, he couldn't get that ball over. I think that really shook him up, shook him up a little bit. I think he recovered from that mistake. I think he could be a good goalkeeper, but I think he'll never get the run time here to be that. So I think, going back to Onana was the only real, choice to be made here. Just because I think Bayern there needs more game time to really see what he has, and I'm not going to get that here. Onana was okay today. I think when we signed Onana, we kind of envisioned, as far as his, goal stopping, I think we kind of envisioned this. I mean, like he wasn't going to be as good as De Gea, or you expect him to make saves within his reach. So today was a decent day for Onana. So is it good enough for United? I think, a few balls, you see, like, after the third, which one was it that I feel like if the hair wasn't goal, he could have saved, but like it's too much rashness in his game. It's too much, too much risk taking in his game. It's not enough polish in his game. But we could take nights like this, where he just stopping everything that comes in this area. But I don't, you just gotta take what we have. I mean, we have two goalkeepers that already play, and I don't think we're going to another one. So we just gotta take that right now.
I think the confidence from the manager, as well as the support of Old Trafford for Onana before the game, because I don't know if how many of you all knew they was playing it's Rihanna song. They was playing that over the system, in support of the goalkeeper. And I thought, for until we conceded the second goal, I thought Onana was doing well. It had some couple shots that came at him, and I think he handled it pretty well. Up to that point, I was saying, well, hey boy, like Onana really, he really come good. He trying to, say something today. And then the first goal happened. The entire team kind of get knocked off. We balance, and then he made an error with the second goal. Right, and for me, it was a combination of errors because Maguire leave the ball when I thought Maguire he had, Dogu was sleeping, Maguire leave the ball, and Euro was sleeping, and then Onana want to catch the ball in the net. So I thought Onana didn't do himself any bad today, right? And I don't think the decision to reinstate him was a bad one. It didn't backfire. Before I get the comments, right? I just want to put up some very what I call by telling images from today, right? So this youth man at 4-3, he was in tears to jubilation, right? At 5-4. Right? That is how much this thing does affect people now, right? And how vested they are at that age, right? And then how the events went. At the 70th minute earlier, we was leading 2-0, 4-2 on aggregate, right? Then in extra time, we were 4-2 down, 6-4, right? And in the space of 10 minutes earlier, right, we were able to pull this thing back.
Unbelievable, eh?
Yeah, I tell you, kudos, man. I mean, I don't know where that will fit in terms of the
Comeback.
history of comebacks now, but But let me get into the
You already
player.
comment?
Oh yeah, for sure. We get some comments on it. We'll get to the player ratings, right, fellas? Right. So Arun saying here, if Bruno had scored a volley, yeah, boy.
And
Yeah,
we're gonna
but that's
actually score a chance.
no, but I think Arun talking about the volley in terms of the quality of goal.
Yeah.
You know, but that Garnacho thing, King Ivar saying here, both aren't good enough, but Onana is the better of the two.
Yeah.
Right? And he gained Onana 6.5. Right? Mickey on the inside, blessed night, man. Mickey and them just come out when we win. I ain't blame you, buddy. I ain't blame you. Saying for the rest of the season, Harry have to have a hall pass, right, fellas? The immense joy after those 2 goals. I'm telling you, bro.
Hey, no, but what I say is Harry Maguire never get a free pass for what? Well, I mean, the next game Maguire could cost me, you know. So let me do get Maguire so ahead, you know. That is Manchester United for you know. There. One day is the hero, the next day is the villain.
Facts.
Hey.
Facts.
Yeah.
Dixie and Bang on the inside, thanks for joining. Good night to you. Saying we are horrid in the goalkeeping department. We need a goalie in the transfer window. Andrew made a few good saves, but he was still poor. He needs to go 5 out of 10. All right. JP saying here, Onana dive in the goal earlier because I knew the result. I was able to laugh at it. 5 for Onana. Yeah, after the fact, you know, you could take it in good stride, but when you're in the moment, you want to use, you know, words. Mickey saying here, Garnacho need a little bench for that selfish football.
To pass a who? Hoyland? That's
JP saying here, Onana dive in the goal in slow motion to try to save a ball. Because I knew the outcome, I was right. So this is the same. This is the same comment.
Yeah,
right?
but at this point, Amarin had to flip a coin.
Yeah, and thank God it landed on Onana. Right? That's harsh though. Right? I don't know in relation to what. So, fellas, so let me do. It's been a while since we do a player rating, right? I think we cover. I don't know if anybody wants to say anything about the actual game, or we could talk about it in the player rating, right? So we go.
One thing I need to ask. I mean, because catching up with the game and trying to watch the highlights and see as much of the game as possible. One thing that stuck out was that the second goal, the ball was it Dogu who was had a man behind him. Were they down to 10 men at that time?
No.
When they scored goals?
Yeah,
we were 10. We were down to 10 in extra time, not in normal time.
Yeah, it was 2-2 still.
Yeah, so that's when they equalized. It was 11v11. It's only in extra time that Tolisso got the red card.
Yeah.
Okay, but either way, how you be on that left side and not know another man just and you see Shaw, you could post Shaw because Shaw was in front of you. You could post Shaw to mark that man and go mark the other because you that's your spot. How you not communicate? How nobody see that? Like that stuff like that, like the community, like stuff like that is really, you see it over and over in these kind of games. Like, I mean, I don't play a long time I didn't play football, but I know I mean, you have to mark that far. You have to know where players are on the field. How you could see you ain't nobody like seeing like a man unmarked at the edge. You have somebody to mark the man you marking, and you go back and I mean, like stuff like that is just I don't understand. I really don't understand how that happened. Like of all I mean, the first goal was kind of fluky, the ball bounce here, my head here, next to the boy. But that goal, I'm like, nah.
Yeah. To be honest, Simeon, I think, and I don't know what's your guys' thoughts on this. I think Shaw threw off the balance of the defense. I think Shaw coming in there threw off the balance of the defense. I think with Mazwari, we lost a lot of control, a lot of communication, a lot of quality defensively.
No, we missed Dullet. We definitely missed Dullet.
Yeah, but
Not
Mazwari,
more than Mazwari. Not more than we miss
yeah,
Mazwari.
because what Mazwari does give you in that defense is intelligence, calmness, quality on the ball, and excellent communication too. I think when Shaw came in, we 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 lost something. I think even when we had Heaven, and even when Heaven came in to the team, there was a there was an improvement, or he added something defensively to the team that you could have said, hey, this Heaven player is quality. Shaw came into the game, and I could barely remember seeing Shaw in the game. I don't know if I can remember seeing Shaw doing anything in the game,
He was the one who gave away the penalty.
right?
He gave
So
away the penalty.
yeah, so I think, well, I mean, it was unfortunate we didn't have Heaven for this game, but if we had Heaven, Heaven would have came off the bench before Shaw, and I think even the intensity that Heaven plays with complements Amarin and Amarin's system. I think Shaw doesn't suit that. I think the intensity of the defense dropped when Shaw came onto the field. So I think that would have added to the error and to the errors in the defense as the game progressed.
Yeah. Dwayne Honore on the inside, good night to you, man. He's seen a couple of things. I'm super happy for Manchester United fan in Manchester, right? Darian on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He's saying this why I could never stop loving this side. Poor season with a lot of downs, but still managed to get a few major highs, right? Glory, Man United. Yeah. Mickey saying, I understand what you're saying, Nico. We had plenty of those hero-villain switches.
Am I telling you?
Yeah. So
and in quick time, eh?
Yeah.
like one game to the next one.
Yeah, then Sunday, Maguire doing some kind of mad thing, right? But we'll get to that, right? Because we have to talk about some comments Amram make on that, right? Dwayne saying here, secondly, I'm happy to see Maguire show what a leader really is, especially when you're in a rut, right? Keep your head down when you are at your worst and work hard and improve to the best of your ability. Yeah, no doubt. JP saying here, totally agree with Nico. Sure mess up the chemistry in the back. Any news on Maz, was it? Yeah, Amorim had said that Mazwari had a little issue, and Amorim kind of super intentional with being very, very careful with players with injuries to avoid long-term layoffs. Right? I mean, and knowing how important
the game. That could have cost the game today.
No, but he said he had to take him off, right? He said he wanted to bring on Lindelof, but Lindelof had to leave because Lindelof was he had some family emergency, so he had to leave. So that's why he had to turn to Shaw. So that's why I agree with you. If Heaven was there, Heaven was coming on before Shaw.
Yeah, and we have maintained that defensive intensity.
Yeah, because I thought Euro was doing so good on the left too, so there's plenty that throw off the balance now.
Yeah.
Had to move Euro on the right, and then you have Shaw there on the left, and then Shaw.
Yeah, because now even on the right, Euro had to kind of adjust to whoever he defending against, and then he wasn't able to make the runs he was making on the left because he was making some real nice runs. Yeah, with the ball on the left, where you see where you have that bit of chemistry with Dogu on that side, so he wasn't able to do that on the right. So I think that injury to Mazwari really threw off the balance in the back.
Yeah. Right. So, fellas, let me look at some player ratings. Right. Is it safe to say that we don't cover Onana already, or you all want to go in on Onana a little more? All right. So we are agreeing that Onana is our 6. Some people say 6. Some people say 5. I say 5.5. Right. 5.5. We could agree on 5.5.
Say up to the 70th, I think he was solid until the first goal. Then you saw the errors that came in. But he made some good saves. He made a good few punches. He came out very positive on the clearances as well. So to me, he got a good 6.
So a 6 might be a little. But I still find though he could have do better on that Cherokee goal, boy. He always standing up and watching ball get slapped past him, man. I doesn't understand. You know, he real flat-footed boy.
Yeah, that why
You
he
know?
couldn't get more than 6. He couldn't get more than 6.
Yeah, because you stand up there, you know a man on top of your box. You have to be ready to expect anything. You got to be on your toes. You can't be
Yeah.
sat and watching ball pass you right through. Anyway, so 6 for Nana, right? So let me start with Mazwari. Go through. So here we go to it, right? In the interest of time. So Nico, you will take Mazwari, Phil, Maguire, Simeon, Euro. Right? Go
Yeah.
through.
Mazwari, again, I'm another role choice by. So unfortunate that he had to come off, but 7. You know, because again, you saw when he came up, we missed. So for me, 7 for Mazwari. Yeah.
Phil, Ari,
This one is a bit tricky because he scored the winner, but he was still part of the defense that conceded 4 goals, right? This one is a bit tricky. I might give Harry a 7.5. Part of me thinks he does not deserve a 7, but part of me thinks that he does not deserve an 8 as well too, right? So I can stick with a 7.5 for Harry. Great winner. And before that winner, he was probably at a 6 or a 6.5. So yeah.
I could just jump in before here. Anybody who score a winner, right, to take you into the next round, getting an 8. Right? No, but you make sense, I feel. But what I'm saying is when he went up in the box, that man give him more presence than Hoyland.
Actually, I will give Maguire an 8 because he also did assist Dallo. So
Right, exactly.
okay,
Yeah.
I will give Maguire an 8. I just forgot the assist that he gave to Dallo. Brilliant pass over the top. So assist and a winner. I can say 8.2. 8.2. Yeah.
But the chance that Bruno volley over the was hit the crossbar, who set him up for that chance? Was it Casemiro? Who that was?
Mazrari.
Mazari. Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
No, so I thought no, but even defensively, I thought the unit was good enough.
Yeah, it was good.
And I thought Maguire was doing well. So I think you know that 8.2. I think that was a fair, more than fair, man, more than fair.
Yeah.
Simeon, Lenny Euro.
You know, I don't think I saw enough of from my the highest to watch, but from what I was seeing, like his progression at the ball, I think that's one thing we really love to see him do. He had a good touch touching the ball, and he switched sides when Shaw came on. I thought but you still see the youth, the youth in this game. He's not sharp. There are some things he hasn't seen yet in the game that he get exposed with. I'll give him like a 6.57. I think I really like the player. I think he's going to be a top defender for us in the future. Pace, tackles, everything else. But like I said, I think he's got a lot of responsibility at an early age for this club. And I think it's not going to be smooth sailing, but I like what I see from him.
Yeah, and one thing I want to point out too about Euro is Euro had some little careless moments too today. I don't know if you all saw it. He was doing some real good things, but then he would come and make a bad touch, make a wrong decision in terms of passing. He would try to knock a cheeky, clever knock and give it away and put us under pressure, right? And on the counter, the Lyon players, it's difficult to get the ball off them, and they could have caused some problems. So while Euro was doing plenty good in terms of progressing the ball forward, making forward passes, making firm passes, holding his end, he was scaring me a little bit with them little moments, a little trippiness now, but I agree with the 6 point. How much I gave him? 7.5. How much I gave him?
7.
I give it 6.57.
6.5. Okay. All right. Dorgu.
So you were going to comments and then go to he like a midfielder now.
Okay, all right. Where we at? Okay, so King Ivar asking, does Sandro walk back into this team? What do you think?
I think yes.
Why no, Phil?
To injury. I don't want to say he's injury prone as yet, but I think Lenny Euro on that left side is going to give Lissandro Martinez a challenge, right? One thing that Lissandro Martinez has over Lenny Euro is his ability to pass the football. Don't get me wrong, but Lenny Euro is a guy, and he's at that age where Amorim can work with him, right? I'm seeing Lenny Euro as a starter over Lissandro Martinez because Lenny Euro is available. Let's put it that way, right? I don't think any injured player should be walking straight back into this team, right? And I'm saying that even for Amad Diallo as well.
All right. I don't know how I feel about it. Nicole Simeon,
I mean, when you consider that, Lissandro, even though he was making some good passes and scoring goals before he got injured, he was also making some mistakes and falling asleep the same way, Euro does. So, he's not a lock for that spot because he was doing some dotishness before. You can't forget that. For last year he hasn't, even when he got healthy, he hasn't been as sharp as when he first came in. So it's open. And then the height, even though he could scrap, for some games it mightn't be the best to have Martinez out there. So they might interchange now and then.
Yeah. For me, I think Martinez have a lot of leadership qualities, as well as he lacking. And to me, Martinez has been good. I think it's just that the entire team was making mistakes. The intensity of the entire team was very low. If it is that he's up or he improves his intensity as the entire team has done, I think Martinez again, it might have a bit of rotation because you're protecting him, but I think having Euro as somebody to rotate with, doesn't do us bad at all. So, but I think Martinez has still a lot to give to this team in terms of his leadership qualities. And his ability to not give up as well. Similar to Maguire today, I think Martinez is a player who could really show up when it is really tough now. And I think he's not one who would shy away from responsibility. So I think he's still a future in the team.
Yeah. Good points. One thing though is that I'm not missing him. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
Agreed.
Yes,
Agreed.
I agree that the leadership qualities go a long way, and that natural left foot. But the fact that I'm missing him is, I mean, that's why I kind of indifferent on where he stands, right? Because if it was like, wait, boy, when Martin is coming back, but he up for this, oh God, but I'm not feeling
like on that Tenag. On that Tenag, we real miss Martinez.
Yeah, but I'm not feeling it. Christensen here, Shaw was just running down the ball because 1 or 2 times he run into Euro. Even Leon third goal, he run into the youth and Cherky gets a easy. Yeah, Shaw created a lot of calamity in the back. As I said before, he gave away the penalty. Right? He was the one who clipped what's his name? Fofana. Right? And as you saying for the Cherky goal, he's the one who
And I was watching Shaw warm up before he came onto the field, and to me he looked overweight.
Yeah, he looked overweight. He really looked overweight.
He warm up to come on, he looked overweight. He was stretching his leg, and he could have barely raised his leg past his waist. All laughing, but I'm serious, right? When you watch the Suez, a part-timer coming on, hey,
Nah, I agree. Christensen here, we should sign Cherky one time. Shouldn't even let him leave England without doing that. 20 million release clause.
But then Palazzo come United and is rubbish, boy. I watch it and I say, boy, this United team will murder them. Yes,
No, but I find Turkey was nice. You see quality, right? But I mean, quality is not enough to prove that they could make it at Man United. I hear you. I hear you. Right, Dwayne saying here, Onana boy, laser shot, brilliant save, flop shot, slippery hands. Oh Lord, Maguire scored an assist, right? So I think that's when Phil was given the thing, right? Saying man, Maz set up the first goal that Garnacho got from Bruno, and we scored. Dalot send ball for Bruno. So it's Dalot ball that was onto Bruno. That's the crossbar. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. King Ivor saying here. So everyone fits. Who's just starting back three?
They're tough call, eh?
Euro delete Mazrari. Euro delete Mazrari. Yeah.
Euro delete Mazrari. Tough one, man.
Yeah.
I will still go with Martinez. So I go with Maz, delete and Martinez.
Yeah, but again, that could change very quickly.
Yeah,
that could change very quickly. If Martinez or whoever it is not up to speed,
it's a man. Yeah, Euro day, yeah, Heaven, and the other guy, yeah, Maguire. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, but look what Maguire we talking about here now. Christian saying here, boy, Maguire is a secret weapon in attack. When they let come back, play Maguire in strike.
No,
Maguire is similar to how we had Fellaini under Mourinho.
No, it's a tactic.
Amarin say he's the only player who could score over the head.
Yeah.
Amarin say that.
It's true. I remember that interview. Amarin was so in between what to say in his mind and what to say towards the audience.
Yeah.
Right? He was like, well, he's the only guy that can. Once you say he's the only guy, you gotta make up for it, right? So
Yeah.
Jordan inside, blessed night to you, man. Thanks for joining me. Saying all smiles on the panel, right? Yeah. You know. So we go into
that.
we go into midfield, right? So Dorgu, what you Nico?
I like the youth earlier. I like the youth.
I know we asked it.
Yes, I know, but you know that is my intro, right? I like the youth. I think he put in some nice little crosses. At times he fell asleep today. At times he you saw the fitness start to take sort of affect him. He starts to, his concentration fell off. His decision making, of course, would have been impacted. And I given Dogo a 6. Yeah. I given Dogo a 6 because I think he is still so positive, or he's so intent or so intentional to play higher up the pitch, because even when we play somebody else in that position, they doesn't do what Dogo doing. They don't be high up the pitch. They really give that outlet to Garnacho or whoever else playing there. And I saw some decent crosses from him today. It had one when a very good one when I think was Rasmus. Again, wasn't up to. But I give him a 6. I think defensively he worked hard as well. Yes, he has some errors in him. That way he wouldn't get more than a 6. But I think I would give him a 6 today.
All right. So you're gonna 5 from me. All right. Phil Ugarte.
Yeah, good goal. Very good goal. I like how disciplined Ugarte was, and the Ugarte that was rash in the last couple of games was not the same Ugarte, because
agreed.
It's almost like you're on a yellow card. We need you for the semi-final. So there was moments where I thought Ugarte would have dived in, but he didn't. He either stood on his feet or he let the guy run past him. I'd rather that than you get a yellow card and it says misses semi-final, right? Well taken goal. the Ugarte of, I don't want to say old, but Ugarte of maybe like before international break is slowly coming back. I have to give Ugarte maybe a 7 because the guy that was next to him, who Simeon will probably rate, is higher than 7. But I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Anything else on Ugarte?
No.
I thought Ugarte was excellent today. I'll be honest
Mhm.
with you. Especially in our first half, he was cutting off a lot of passes. Ugarte was cutting off. And I mean, one thing that Lyon did in the first leg, they were getting around us pretty easily. They were making passes through the middle of the park real easy. And I was just seeing Ugarte popping up everywhere and cutting out passes. I thought Ugarte was real impressive today. I think the goal topped it off, right? And sometimes the goal is just bring some more confidence to the player too. But he took his goal well. And I thought, on the ball, he didn't hold on to the ball too long unnecessarily. When he gets it, he played it off, and his idea today, and it's real simple, but very effective, So, yeah, how much you'd say, Phil?
Yeah, based on his decision making, I would say 7.5 then, yeah.
Okay. Simeon, Casemiro.
Casemiro. I watched as much of the game, but I didn't see as much of the game as I wanted to see. But what caught me was the 120th minute. I see this man moving with speed and it's speed, but I would say speed, but with purpose.
With purpose,
Like the man was covering angles, the man was looking, and I couldn't believe that was Casemiro. Like I couldn't believe that he still had that, and in attack, you could see the experience he had and the directing stuff, moving the ball around. Like I don't know what it is with the different between like Europe and like something about these European games where we play a Spanish side or a French side that he just knows how to marshal these games and to make things work. So I think his it can remind me of the first year he came with us, like at the end of the season where he was popping up, and making good assists and stuff. So I think Casemiro was really good today. I gave him a 7 today.
No, 7 is too low.
He has two assists today. 2 assists.
2 assists.
You can say 3. You can say 3 because the penalty.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah. He win the penalty. Yeah.
Casemiro got at least a 8.
Yeah.
At least.
8.5. Yeah. I agree. And watch me, that assist for Meno was quality.
Oh yeah.
People are looking for that ball. He just
now is Meno make that too, boy? No, Meno make that too.
True.
No, but
the assist for Maguire too.
I prefer the assist from Maguire because it was the winning goal and it had to be pinpoint.
Yeah.
Looking back now, like it's hard to remember all the passes that Casemiro make in that game. I mean, just put out 4 there, like. But I always felt like his attention to detail or his experience in attacking in that last part, that last that final third is always so underrated. And a game like today, you really see it. So I think 8.5, give him 9. I think all those passes they give, and it's just quality is class. Is that we missed that because he couldn't defend in the Premier League. We missed that the other side of his game when he couldn't get any field. But it's good to see today.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I think he could have been man of the match.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah, because 120 minutes and still doing what he did, and then during the game, sometimes you just say like, "Oh God, Casemiro only giving away the ball. Oh God, Casemiro bad pass, bad tackle, missed tackling." He didn't see. He got all his tackles today, all his passes today. As Simeon said, he covered angles well today. and he played purpose today. He was rested for the Newcastle game, and I'm going to say I'm resting for the Newcastle game because I wanted to show your quality in today's game. And he
Yeah.
did that. He
Yeah.
did that, and I think to me, the match performance.
Yeah. I could agree with that, boy. I could agree with that. Dalo.
Well, you got to do that, though.
I think Dalo was okay today. Dalo was he took his goal well. He took his goal well. Dalo steady. How you call it? Steady Eddie. Dalo's a steady Eddie.
Who they get at again? Somebody.
Casemiro, Graham Smith.
Yes, steady Eddie. Yes,
steady
yes.
Eddie. But Dalo is a steady Eddie. Dalo day. And he would do what he had to do, and and today he came up well for his goal, right? He took his goal well. He made a couple good passes, I again Dalo a 6.
6.5.
6.5, yeah, 6.5, yeah.
I didn't see the one he blow past him like always. Who I meant to blow past him over the weekend. I didn't see that.
No, but so who they get blow past when Fofana was going on line to score the go ahead goal? It's not that low he blow past.
I don't know.
McGuire? What?
I can't remember. Fofana. I don't know if it's Dalo, but regardless, Dalo took his goal really, really well, and Dalo had a steady game today. So I ain't fight Dalo. I ain't seen nothing. JP saying here, Dogu have a good way to go. Yes, I find he looks lazy getting back sometimes, right? And he say 5. Ugarte and Casemiro were great today. What I love from Casemiro these days is how vocal he is on the field, right? He's saying, well, Casemiro showed Champions League pedigree today, right? All right, we know. Thanks for joining, man. King Ivor saying here 6 for Dalo is disrespect, at least 7. All right. But when they consider the players who get 7 and thing, I don't know. All right. Bruno, Nico.
I get a solid 7. Yeah, I think he get more. He could get more. But Dalo next steady Eddie, but with a lot more quality, a lot more end product. I think the chance that didn't score, that would have been nice on the cake. I wonder if I could get some more.
I find
describe his performance.
To take that penalty, Nico, Yataha.
Yeah, boy. No, but that penalty was a quality penalty. That penalty, and the keeper dived the correct way and to put it away like that. That was a real quality penalty. How much I give him? 7.
Yeah.
I think he's
7.5?
so consistent. Yeah, I think he's so consistent that it's like a normal performance.
Yeah,
it wasn't like our Casemiro would have stood out today, and Ugarte who would have stood out today as well in terms of how disciplined Casemiro and Ugarte was in the middle, which I think was a little. Bruno has been consistently good. He didn't light the world afire today, but I think the calmness and the composure and the quality on the penalty, the assist. The pass to
the pre-assist
to Garnacho for the Ugarte goal. I think that was quality as well. But 7.5 for Bruno. But again, we know Bruno does score hat tricks in these games. These kind of games. But you saw where he was up to the game today. You saw he really tried to rally troops, especially in the first half. I think he led from example in the first half. So I think 7.5 for Bruno today. But
I just
great
wanna-
performance. Great performance.
I just want to add two things to that, right? One,
Uh,
in the dying part of the game today, he had the ball, and Mount was on the next side of the pitch screaming for it. And stupid Bruno would have tried to pass it. Bruno hold on to that ball, and Bruno kill off that game, and the referee blow off that whistle. Right? That's why I want to see kill the game. Don't try no hero nothing. Right? Secondly, I think scoring that penalty was a catalyst for our victory. Because that goal, after we get that one back, that motivate that team to believe that we can still get something out of it. Because all you know it is to go 2 goals down, right? With 10 minutes to go,
and
facing elimination, and you have to take a penalty earlier.
Yeah.
That kind of pressure not easy, Dread.
Yeah, for sure.
You understand? Sure. And Bruno take that with calmness and composure earlier. And it's after that goal, that entire Old Trafford get loud. And that pushed them players on to get a win. So just for that alone, Bruno gained points for that, you know?
For sure.
JP saying he has 7.5 for Bruno. Phil, your best friend, Garnacho.
Boy, that man getting a 3.5, boy.
No, man, you're wicked.
That man getting a 3.5.
Phil, you're wicked.
Anybody give the man above a 4, you got to justify it.
Good.
The game should have been 4-0. But because of Garnacho not taking his chances and Garnacho being easily bodied off the ball, Nico, when you get a chance, ask Nico how many times I messaged him the word Garnacho, and it wasn't about any positive either, right? Garnacho definitely, I still think is a scrub, and today just amplifies why he either needs to be sold in the summer transfer window or he will hold from bench come 2020.
I feel we can't mistake Garnacho way.
No. Garnacho
I know we good for the club, you know. I feel and the money we can get for him, but I think if Garnacho really improve, he could be a world beater, but
he could be, but that's hindsight. Hindsight's plays on 2020. But until we're talking about the current moment, no. Garnacho's a scrub, Nico. I don't care.
Playing this team, it's not easy, boy. Playing this team, not easy, boy. They help it neither. Oh Jesus!
Here I say, right?
Scrub.
Garnacho did really, really well. You know, he showed some intelligence with how he took the ball and cut it back for Ugarte. So I game points for that. But my thing, you see if Garnacho scored that third goal?
Yeah, for sure.
I think the game would have been done.
Yeah. That would have deflated them.
You know,
that would have deflated Lyon.
And for me, Garnacho is offer a threat because he good on transitions. But Garnacho end product earlier, real suspect.
Exactly.
Real suspect.
And it's so easy to body him off the football.
Not easier than Hoyland, Rasmus Hoyland.
No, but what I'm saying is Garnacho end product and decision making. If that boy was a little brighter.
Yes.
No, but I feel he can get that. I feel he can get that earlier. I could be wrong because I be wrong sometimes, but I feel he can get that. Because the position he does find himself in, if he just improve that final ball, that decision making.
How long were we talking about this here, Nico? How long?
Playing this United team not easy neither, boy.
No, but Nico, so you go a man stand up in front of the goal, you're part defender on the ground, and for you to score that you blame in the United team. Come on, man.
Nico, there are about 5 instances this season.
He put his head down and swinging.
They got about 5 instances this 2025 where people have played in Garnacho and Garnacho has done zero.
Yes, agreed. But 3.5 hash, Phil, that was saying I find 3.5.
Let me fair to him. Garnacho, for his performance today, considering the assists, I will give him a 6. But taking 3 for that miss. I taken 3 for that miss. That miss was 2. That miss.
Yeah, that miss.
Okay, he assisted, but the the good did not outweigh the bad today.
No, when I
I
say
don't find so. I don't find he was bad. I don't find. Yeah, I don't find he was bad. I don't find Garnacho was bad today. I find Garnacho was okay.
He was posing a threat, Phil.
Well, I
Yeah,
hear curious how one gonna rate Hoyland now. I know Hoyland offer more than Garnacho today, but we can see.
Oh, he let all over for Garnacho.
My turn.
No.
My mic getting off right now. My mic is now green
Hey.
and red. Watch and see.
Phil, don't do that. Don't do that.
Let Phil talk about Garnacho, please. I mean, Hoyland. Hoyland.
Well, let me get some initial thoughts on Hoyland. Rated on
No,
Hoyland, and Phil will come back.
I can't get no initial thoughts on Rasmus because from what I see that man play, like I had to go back and watch, I'm trying to see where this man was effective for his team, and that was a long game, but I didn't really see Rasmus doing anything of consequence, really for this first team, and it's like. And I really can't rate him. I mean, I didn't see enough of Rasmus to give a rating. I'll be honest. I mean, I didn't watch the whole game, but what I see, I had to really think hard of what Rasmus do for this game. So
Hey, Rasmus got a 4, right? I tell you, because here why, and you upset me, not helping the team, right? He made a terrible run, and he did more than once today. He made a terrible run. Garnacho had no choice other than to shoot, right? The ball went for a corner, but he kicking goalpost, stamping goalpost, curling, right, with Garnacho, that he didn't get a pass. But your run was rubbish. It's not inviting for anybody.
Yeah.
It's not inviting enough for anybody to want to pass the ball to you. And then when you get the pass, you're running down Garnacho like you want to hit him, right? Nah, no, Hoyland by 4, not in fact 2. Sorry, I cut off 4.5, 2. Phil,
And you say I being harsh. Well.
And Rasmus, how much time you see Rasmus stamping that goalpost today, right?
Well, it's a good thing we win today, boy. Look, it's a
No, but the thing about it, you had to watch it. Rasmus, you can't just watch a layoff and a link play and say that is enough. No, that is not enough. Right? That is not enough. So the two little touch and two little layoff and thing we get from Hoyland today, all right, he has been better. But you play for how much minutes and we again nothing from you. Nothing, yeah, offer we nothing. You got a shot on target? Nothing in it. And Nico will point out the runs you're making wasn't even threatening.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like, okay, well, the defenders, hey, let me watch that one. He making a dangerous run. Not even that. And you're more vexed than everybody else when you ain't get the ball.
Nah, Simeon right to left the conversation, man.
Yeah, so yeah. So Hoyland, which is where it is, right? We'll just get some comments here. JP saying here, nah man, Phil, I'd give him a 6 still. Right? That's Garnacho.
Yes, you're being rough. Nah.
Half that app a 1 or a 0.5, man.
Christian saying here, Amorim said after the game today, what the team lacks the most is characteristics. All right. He said as much as Garnacho does be annoying sometimes, or it's his characteristics. All right. Just be annoying sometimes with the finishing, his decision making. But that can be a result of tiredness. He'll be tired early in the game, Christian. He is the only outlet we have really in attack. So he also defends a lot. Doesn't matter what time of the game. If a ball sending forward, he will create something. At 20 years old, leading the United attack, it's very difficult, and doesn't really have help. I don't know what, Christian, I can't agree with you on that one day. I don't know what you're trying to say, right? Because Garnacho, I feel up talking about Garnacho. I can't agree with you, right? I understand the fact that he, because of his runs, he very energetic, he fits, so he'll keep going. But we're looking for end product and quality, right? And that is not something you just talk about when you talk about Garnacho. You only talk about running plenty. You're talking about running in behind. You're talking about defending. You're talking about, he tired. You're talking about all kind of things. But when it comes to end product, Garnacho name nowhere in that conversation. And we want our players to have end product. When you watch PSG play, and you watch Doué, you watch Cavara, right? You watch Dembele. It's end product, right?
But I just say that even if you're watching the stats of these players, goals and assists for the season so far, they're not that far from Garnacho. Because Garnacho had a few assists, and he had a few goals. But if you watch his stats, it's not that far. They're not doing that better than Garnacho.
I apply the eye test.
But Garnacho could do much better.
He
could do much better.
I mean, it's about Garnacho. Like, the thing is, like, you watch certain players like Menu. Like, for some reason, you see Menu get a spot and make that turn. You know where the ball was going. Like, for some people, you just know.
Garnacho not doing that.
You just know. And in technique, like, in your mind, you know, you cool a ball in the far corner. But to have the calmness to do that, you ain't seen that from Garnacho at all. The man's get in front of the goal and just like the bright lights.
Next season, honestly, Garnacho will be scoring some goals for us.
Coming off the bench in the 80th minutes, yeah.
No problem, I'm taking that.
I will take that too. I take Garnacho coming off the bench and playing against Millwall in the Carabao Cup and Potting, yeah.
Hey, what's it? And it happened like who? This fella who we load the Real Betis. Anthony, come on, and we fighting on Garnacho, and I just say he could do much better, but he's still doing way better than men like Anthony.
This was the standard, Nico. Your standard is Anthony?
No, that we pay almost 100 million for.
No, yeah, and we don't know that was a bad buy. Yeah, we waste our money. What the standard is, and that's what we peg in the expectation, right? We want to get here, and right now we're here because Garnacho and fellas are giving us no end product. All we gain is energy.
Well, it's up to the coach now to get out time then.
Well,
if the coach get out time, then
you telling me between December and now and the coach still can't get out time that and he has still?
Of course, you can take all the time. Next season, pre-season. After pre-season, we will see what's going on.
JP saying here, if we get 50, 60 for Garnacho in the summer, we should take it.
I agree.
Today, but you have to finish those chances. Listen, that one chance, they dog. You can just prong your head and swing. Come on, now, boy. That could be what would have sent we out of the competition in a dog.
Yeah.
Christian saying I agree with Amarim and Nicole. Garnacho is a threat. Right? He throw away a lot, but he does make real good runs. If he improves his finishing, he will be deadly. At 20 years old, he have a lot to improve. Right? Dwayne saying here, Garnacho. Shake my head, right? That little boy decision making abysmal, to be honest. He has gotten found out about the way he plays, not too much dynamics in his gameplay. Correct. This is at 20 years and he will come good.
Well, I don't find he get found out. I don't find he get found out. If Garnacho finishes chances, Garnacho does still be in very good chances. He still provides a lot of assists. So I mean, I don't find he's found out.
Part of his energy when we were arguing for Donny.
The only thing is he missed the chances, but he find out he missing his chances.
Nico, I feel a little fellas are seeing this thing right now, boy.
Part of his energy was for Donny Van de Beek 2 seasons ago.
Nah, you could see Van de Beek wasn't ready. You could see that. I think Garnacho plenty that if he improve, he'll be real good. But if he don't improve, then he had to go.
Well, let he improve at Southampton or Wolves or something.
Nah.
Let him go Napoli. He, Lukaku and McTominay go score 1 billion goals there, right? Because I'm saying now Hoyland link a few times with Dalot on the right side and Dalot put in
good balls. We just didn't capitalize. But 2
But
out of 10 is too little, man.
But I
Thank you.
basic boy.
Thank you.
That was basic. But we only talking about that because we like shocked that he do it.
Yeah.
But that's basic for a striker. I not rating that.
Yeah. No, I agree. Out of the subs, I just want to get rated for Kobe. What we saying?
Now you gotta get between a 7.5 and a 8, boy.
Yeah, 8. That finish. It's a few players, I said before. It's a few players in we team taking that ball like how we take that under pressure with 2 men on him, settling that football and bending that. Right? 8.
I guess 7.5. Because if you're giving Kobe an 8 and Casemiro 8.5, that don't make sense. Because that, unless you're giving Casemiro a 9, I don't think Kobe did as much as Casemiro. But that's just my call.
Fair. So 7.5. Yeah, I think we could agree on that. Earlier. So player returns done, right?
Yeah, they had the subs.
So
You know what Shaw? Rich Shaw.
Nah, he got
Shaw to rate Shaw?
Nah, Bun Luke, so he can sell in summer.
All I just want to be hitting some players, boy. I try to look at the positives going forward into much Shaw. No, but I mean, fellas, after today, and I remember I was saying this, the manner in which we came back and we won this game, you know, it is kind of just get a feeling that we're gonna win this tournament, right? I ain't getting
carried away at all.
I ain't getting carried away. But how will it feel about our chances of winning the tournament? I don't tell me 1-4. Win the semi, that given, right? But what other things genuinely are our chances win the semi-finals? You know, how will it feel about us? Because I mean, for us, I think winning this means more for us than Bodo and Bilbao. I mean, Spurs need help, right? But us.
But we so inconsistent. It's real difficult to call this thing by.
I think if Ahmad and Dalit come back, I will feel a bit more that we could win this tournament. Yeah.
And Ahmad will be back, eh?
You sure?
Yeah, he coming back. He already training on grass.
Has Xerxes done for the season?
Yeah, Xerxes done. Xerxes done. Martinez done.
And Shaw.
Shaw, yeah, he done too.
Yeah, he done. He done. Boy, it looks like it could be an all English final. An all English final will be quite interesting because we have not beaten Spurs for the entire season. We haven't. We have been thrashed by Spurs every time we meet them this season. I will be a bit more nervous versus Spurs in the final than Athletic. Maybe we got Athletic next week or 2 weeks from now.
I don't know. I'll check it.
I hope it's sometime in May because yeah. I think we still got to get past Athletic. Athletic is a Spanish team. Spanish teams versus English teams. Well,
Spanish. Yeah, you know them in Europa too. The only Europa League.
Correct. I think we got a good chance, you know. Once we get some injured players coming back, then I think we got a good chance, right? There's some players that are growing with the competition, like Lenny Euro. I think Dorgu will come into his own sometime. Hopefully, he comes in a bit quicker for this competition, and then he goes back to the drawing board for next season, right? I also think, and this is crucial, that guy in bars, he cannot be making any more mistakes if we are supposed to progress to the final. He can't be making any more stupid mistakes. Stay off of social media and let what you do between the sticks do the talking. Okay? Onana, if we lift the Europa League trophy, you can go on social media. I will retweet everything you say if we win the Europa League trophy, okay? But until then, just do a job in between the sticks. That's all you gotta do, bruv. That's it.
Simeon, what do you think? Our chances are winning the Europa League.
Uh, 50-50. I mean, can we finish? Can we finish our chances? I mean, I think that's the main thing. Who's going to score all the goals? I mean, you see who, in the end, who scored the goals? Maguire, Menu. Does Bruno have a few more match film nights in Europe left? Can Rasmus do something? Yeah, I mean, we have a good chance, but we got to rely on Garnacho because he's going to get most of the chances. Looks like, he always gets most of the chances. Is he going to pass the ball, make the right choice? I mean, we have enough. It's looking like we have enough defenders, and they should be healthy, going forward. But do we have enough, goal scorers on the team to make, the chances we have matter? So, yeah, 50-50.
I'm more concerned about Bilbao than Spurs. If Spurs make the final, I think Bilbao is a very dangerous team. They are a Spanish team, but they're very physical, but they're technical as well. And I think that's any technical team that
Combination, yeah.
any team that had that combination will cause us a lot of problems. They remind me of Newcastle. And they have Nico Williams and Inaki. That team could be very dangerous. So those kind of games for me, if we want to say something, as Simeon said, we had to be able to take chances. We had to be you can't be missing open goals and expect to advance to our final.
Yeah,
I think if we could get past Bilbao, then I think our chances to win that final we should be favorites, right? Because we clearly had the tougher route to the final, right? Spurs had a pretty an easier route, and still can't discount Bodo Glimt, right? Because Bodo Glimt beat Lazio, right? But I think if we could get past Athletic Bilbao, I think we should be favorites.
Yeah,
That the hardest team.
Yeah, and I think we shouldn't look past them, to be honest.
Yeah.
We shouldn't look past them, but that team would be a very difficult team to play against.
Yeah. Finally, fellas, this was a comment Amram he made after the game, right? He said we have to take risk with the kids in the Premier League. We have to focus on the Europa League. All right. So which means what do you think this means? Go ahead.
I didn't see this coming, but I knew as soon as I saw it won, I knew this was coming. I knew them youth men will probably starting watching to see who starts next game. I think it's logical. It's just logic. We need that trophy. The club needs that money. We need to win Europa. And plus, Amram also needs to see some of these young fellows, see if they have anything, if they could be a part of the squad next season. So I think it works, twofold. You get to see these young fellows in the Premier League, get these starters some rest. We lost the most games. We already lost all the games because we break. Yeah, we don't want like to lose, but at the same time, we got focus right now.
So, a similar Portuguese manager did it in 2017, 2018. So, put all his eggs in one basket and it paid off. And yeah, Amran is right. So, we could probably see maybe Binder will be in goal again. Maybe Binder has a chance to prove if he could be between the sticks for at least one of the legs versus Athletic Bilbao, right? But yeah, kids definitely. You want caught and wrap our most valuable and important players for the Europa League. So I probably would not start Casemiro for the rest of the season unless it's in the Europa League. Um, Bruno can start, but take him off after 60 minutes. And I won't take a risk with either Lenny Euro or Mazrari. Garnacho, you could start. You could start all the Premier League games. Garnacho, you're Hoyland. You could start all the Premier League games.
Yeah, he could start, but you'll come off. You'll come off early.
Yeah, come off early in the 85th minute or something. So
No, 85th minute is not early.
yeah. But what I gotta ask, what kids do we have available though? That's the thing.
They have a whole on a 21 team.
Like we talking like Chido, Kone,
Yeah.
Amas.
Yeah. All them players was on the bench today.
Yeah, let me look at that bench today quickly.
Yeah.
You guys can talk.
That a very useful bench. And I think what working in our favor is that we out of the top 6 or even in the Europa places, we're not close to the Champions League places, so we could afford most likely or highly unlikely we're not going to get relegated. So we're in a position where we could afford to rest players and rotate players to have the most ready team for Athletic when that time comes. So I think things playing in our favor for the Europa League is just that, as Simeon said, who is going to take the chances? When the chances come, I think that is because we could rest how much men. If we don't have that person in front to take those chances when we create it, then it makes sense, right? So I really hope that if we get back Ahmad, who we know could finish, and again the list could be important as well. So I think the how the league set up, it favors us to rest players, and I kind of interested in seeing the kids as well.
We just be using that term, that statement and filming it, Jose rotate and think. But when you look at the depth of the squad Mourinho had, compared to what Amorim have now, we could risk. Yeah, we could risk playing a young team out there and get embarrassed, You understand what I'm saying? So we have to be careful at the same time because, again, yes, we don't want to play for, but we don't want to kill momentum, kill that confidence, that necessary. Because I think we first game against Bilbao was on the 1st of May, right? And I was just watching the team that Mourinho put out against Burnley. And it was De Gea, Phil Jones, Smalling, Young, and Valencia. Pogba, Lingard, and Matic was in midfield. Mata, Martial, and Lukaku. That was the team that played Burnley. That's
strong team.
That's the team that Mourinho rotated. You know what I'm saying? So when they compare that to who Amorim have here, that you would want to rest, it's better you forfeit the game.
We also had injuries that
Bailly, Shaw,
Marcus Rojo injured.
Yeah,
Zlatan was injured. So what are you trying to get at? Ray? You said that in our upcoming Premier League games, you're trying to say maybe match kids with experience, maybe?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we said that it's just that some of the players they just take off early to maximum up to 90 minutes, maybe after 60 minutes they make changes and keep the team fresh, but with a nice mix there as well.
Yeah, because you'll be looking in games like these to be giving the likes of Ericsson, more minutes. You'll give who again? It's Lindelof could be playing.
Shaw, Monk.
Evan come back. Shaw, Monk, Kobe. Those guys need minutes.
Yeah.
to get up to speed. You understand?
Ahmad,
So
if
that,
Ahmad come back, Ahmad needs minutes as well.
yeah, and at the same time, you'll be able to get people like Bruno, Casemiro, you know, Mazwari, some
Ugarte.
much, yeah. Now I think Ugarte could play,
To play.
you know, but you're given
But you don't
some
want to lose him. You know?
exactly, because if you realize a lot of games now you have players falling out, and you don't want to
Yeah.
lose key players. We don't lost Xerxes already. We don't want to lose more players to injury in the Premiership running down nothing.
Yeah.
Right? But at the same time, we don't want to go and just trust the youths out there and get embarrassed from everybody.
Yeah.
Unmute him, man.
Is Collier still in the picture? I see.
He injured,
Some
but you know,
injury
Anthony,
again. Yeah, you only picking up injuries. Like.
he's supposed to be playing all now. He's supposed to be a
Yeah.
body that we could use.
Correct. Well, I am for the next legs in Europe. I supported United, obviously, and PSG. So
Phil had an unsuccessful hate watch, right? So anyway, guys, I think we at the end of the pod. You know, this was a real close one. You know, we were almost not there, but thank God for the last minute heroics of you know. I want to include Casemiro, you know, Bruno Fernandes, Kobe Mino, and Harry Maguire. You know, that's actually and that you know got us over the line and saved our blushes, because I am telling you, if we did not win today, especially the manner that we were getting
exactly,
to be leading 2-0.
Yeah.
You understand? At
we
home,
trailing 4-2. We trailing 4-2 after leading 2-0. That is like crazy.
Yeah, boy. And I remember the camera had pan in the stand in the executive, and I don't know how much you all see it with Berada and Wilcox.
Yeah.
And I thought I was looking
worried.
Yeah, them was looking pissed. So, I mean, thank God.
Sure is that problem. Sure, it actually sure is that problem.
Now, well, let's sure play them rest of games. Let Mom get more minutes. Kobe, you know, let me get some minutes in them fellas' legs and let me see them. Let me see what that's all. You know?
What about Bayern there?
Yeah, Bayern there go play too. Let Bayern there play. Let Onana play. Because we had to keep Onana sharp too, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
No, we had to keep him sharp. Right now, Onana. Yes, you Onana around hug up arm all kind of thing.
Yeah, boy. Really emotional.
I hope that mean nothing in us. Still sell your tail.
Yeah. No. Onana begging right now. I beg Onana. Oh, God, please don't sell me now. Please don't sell me. We are you good, boy. We are his brethren.
I hug you up.
I hug you up when we win against Lyon.
You all see that Onana had asked for a pay raise?
What? No, I didn't see that one yet.
Well, Onana relax your body and learn to keep the ball
in net. That ain't making sense, Phil. Come on.
Well, I see. I got certain people that are reacting to it. He asked for a pay raise. Apparently, is if you don't get in the Champions League final, or get in the Champions League, you'll get salary will get cut. But then he approached the club with his agent. Okay, he got a new agent recently, so he approached the board or whatever to talk about his contract. Let's put it that way.
Oh, okay. Maybe he got a deal from Saudi, and he looking to say that you pay me more. I go on. No, yeah, I mean,
well, perfect.
That time we want to pay to leave.
Correct.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, so Sunday it is again, right? So I mean, let's see how this season plays out. Let's hope that all the risks with the youths that I'm going to be taken now, which he made very clear, you know, it pays off. One, in terms of getting the first teamers, you know, the much needed little rest, but at the same time that these young players, you know, the likes of Chido and where's the guy named Morehouse?
Yeah, Morehouse and
Kunuki, or whatever his name is. Yeah. All these guys could really take the chance and have us talking about them.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I would like to see as well. Let's have some conversations about these young players when we see them.
Who we playing on the weekend?
Wolves.
Cunha, audition, perfect.
And I think I can play no Old Trafford, huh? Yeah.
Cunha audition.
Yeah. All right, guys. So that's the night and all, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So We could be here again.
On to the semis.
Yeah, onto the semis.
I'm
Onto the semis.
curious if we had got knocked out tonight, this would have been the last podcast.
As if we will have a podcast.
No, it's true. Because I telling you, at 4-2, I sit down there and I wasn't feeling to do nothing. And I watch me. Phil message me, see you later on the pod, and I like, what pod?
Phil, that was fight.
No, because
I like what pod? You know? So,
well, like if that's for the penalty, I turn off all my streams. I pack my bag and went straight to the gym.
Yeah.
I'm foolish me getting them messages about 3-4 and 4-4 and 5-4, boy.
Oh boy, watch that. Maguire and Kobe save all in all United. That'll be every season, dog. Yeah. Anyway.
They say we season for sure.
Yeah.
They save our season.
yeah. We'll start early for preseason, Anyway, have a good night, fellas.
Hey,
See you in the next one.
Yes, sir.